I'm Scotty. You're not. And we're talking about Season 9, Episode 2 of The Flash, otherwise entitled Hear No Evil. So, last week we saw that there's a new Captain Boomerang in town, a different Caitlin now. Who she is, we don't know until we find out this episode. And then Red Death was revealed to us viewers, although it's sort of a staticky electricity ghost type thing. Not fully complete, which I didn't think about until this episode. So that's where we're at, and it was a time loop thing. I would say I think this episode 2, is far better. It's more character development than just a time loop thing. I'd like to know what Mark and this new Caitlin were doing during that time loop, but we pick up right where the last one left off with the new Caitlin, and she calls herself Snow Original, although she does get a different name by the end of this. Mark turns up and they basically say that this happened, the machine had a fluctuation, and it created this, which I feel like they could have worked on the look more instead of just putting little what do you call them in her hair? Ooh, blue streaky extension things in her hair. I don't know. She looked. A lot of people are comparing her to Illyria from Angel, and if you're not sure what that is, I haven't got to season 5 of Angel yet. I may end up having to re-review those seasons. The way things are going is I meant to do Buffy right away, and then review season 5 of Angel because I have to wait. And I never got that far. But yeah, I can see the comparison. She's not a make-up-y in the eyes or whatever, but yeah. Oh, also from last episode is that Joe asked Cecile to leave Central City, and I guess we'll touch on that because they do talk about it a little bit, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Cecile just says that she needs to think about it before she makes a decision, basically, is all it is. So we cut to a club apparently owned by Hartley Rathaway, or the Pied Piper. I didn't know he owned a club, but he does. And Roderick, his boyfriend, is there. And he goes to leave and he's attacked by the new fiddler. So they don't give a name to her. They just say that she's not Izzy Bowen. They explain that it's not Izzy Bowen, it's someone else. And she attacks him with the fiddle, and she also has sonic frequency in her mouth. We find out later. Which this gives him an irregular heartbeat, I think he says what it was, or an erratic heartbeat, to where he can't, function, But, yeah. So, the bulk of this episode is really trying to figure out, while the fiddler is a threat, she doesn't really come back into this much until the end of the episode. It's mostly about what they're going to do with Frost and Caitlin. So they decide they have the chamber, and they put Snow inside, and they're going to do it. They say bring back Caitlin, but Mark has a different plan. Stop yawning! Stop trying to yawn. Mark has a different plan. He wants to bring Frost back too, which causes another fluctuation. That's what they think. They say you can't bring both back, you have to choose. And so, but then Chester does some digging and finds out that it wasn't going to work either way. And so they go into Caitlin's father's files to try to figure out a way how he brought Frost and Caitlin. But that also goes nowhere, as it doesn't help them try to bring them back, but they bring them both back. They decided they can only bring one back, and so they put it to a vote. And of course, Mark chooses Frost, but and Barry's on the side of, I think, Big Frost, and Allegra picks Frost, and she just expects, because she and Chester have smooched a couple times, that he's gonna pick Frost, but he picks Caitlin. But then, for some reason, Iris, I forgot her name, picks Frost. I'm like, okay, where's this going? It doesn't really go anywhere. Because it ends up not being a vote, because they end up saying it's Snow's choice. She makes friends with Hartley, who has retreated to the Star Labs to recuperate. He's Caitlin's help, medical help, but that's not there. So because to get around this, they bring in this doohickey we've never seen before to help his heartbeat. That's just there. Quick ride around, I guess. But he is willing. He is willing to kill to save Roderick. Because he almost lost Roderick. He almost lost Roderick once before. He hasn't wanted to do it again. And so basically, Snow tells him, it's your decision to make whether or not you're a good person or not. Because she sort of explains that, he changed, but he hasn't. But she says he hasn't really changed. He just, he's kind of undecided, I guess. She has no memories, no Caitlin memories, no memories, Frost memories, nothing. According to Eric Wallace, she's supposed to be something that will help them against a new threat coming, whether it's Red Death or another one. Who knows? But, yeah. I don't know. It would be nice if it's Red Death as a threat, and then we get Caitlin back for the second half. But I don't know. But, so, it's obvious that the Fiddler wants something. She wants something. Hartley makes his decision and goes after her. Like I said, Snow decides she wants to be herself. And she calls herself Keone, which I think is from the comics. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't read a lot of comics. I have some comics in there that I haven't even read yet. So, yeah. Her name is Keone now, which I missed the first time. They keep calling it. I'm like, why do they keep... What? He didn't say Keone. I missed it when she said it, but she decides not to be turned. And then the alarm goes off, because now it's time to finish the leftover plot thread from the beginning of the episode, because this whole episode is about the Killer Frost and Caitlin stuff, or Frost and Caitlin stuff, and now, Barry does have a conversation with Mark. He's like, you're a member of Team Flash now, whether you like it or not, and you're going to have to start working with us. Oh, I guess this is after the thing, but it does go off. They said they got to make a decision. Barry doesn't know, and then the thing goes off, and so Barry goes to help Hartley at his club, and he gets there, and she is using this thing that looks like killed him, and she said it's a fate worse than death, and she does it to Roderick, and he gets pissed off. He's about to kill her, but Flash comes in and stops him, and he's about to kill her, right? Or he's about to blast her, then Flash comes in, and then he's about to kill her, and he stops him. He's like, she killed Roderick, there is no choice. And she's like, wait. He's like, wait, and he vibrates on a frequency where everyone is stuck in a vibrational field or something like that. And he, he used the thing to bring them back, and they bring everyone back, but then, the Fiddler, Captain Boomerang shows up, Mercer shows up, and they get out of there, and they take Hartley's gauntlets with. It's the second component they need for their machine. After that little thingy, and now this, that cell thing, and now this. They need them to, Hartley still has his voice thing, because he uses it later. Yeah, so, we cut back after commercial break we go back to the lab again. Back to the lab again. And Keone has made her decision. That's what she says. Her name is Keone, and she decides she wants to be herself. Mark doesn't like this and says, you have to get in there. And Hartley shows up and just destroys the thing, which pisses Mark off, and he leaves. It's going to happen. But, yeah. There's no furthering on the whole Joe and Cecile thing. Although they do briefly touch. Okay. Beginning of this episode is kind of annoying. Chester and Allegra, I think we need to talk about something. And they show a flashback to when they kissed last episode. I'm like, we don't need to see that. And then Joe was talking to Cecile. I think we need to talk. And they show a flashback of him saying he wants to leave. I'm like, you don't need to show us flashbacks. We've seen it. If we're watching this, we would have seen it. You don't need to show us little flashback things. But, whatever. Also, Barry and Iris were trying to go on vacation. They were just on a freaking, I guess it's a baby making trip or something. I don't know, but I don't know. They just had, it was just in a time loop. So, they wouldn't want any more vacation away from everything. I don't know. No CCPD stuff this week. It ends with them at Hartley's club dancing. Hartley is not there, but everyone is dancing. Joe is standing at the. I like how the Keone is dancing with Cecile, and she's like, "You're a good dancer." And looks over at Joe. He's good at standing at the bar. And Joe's just like. And then he kind of danced a little bit. Barry, of course, can't dance at all, so he's just like, or whatever he does. And Chester and Allegra dance. Okay, like I said, I don't hate this, but I wish they would just, pardon my French, but just fuck already. Okay, just get it over with. There's just so much. Just if you're going to do this, pull the trigger and quit tiptoeing. We're in the final season. Just pull the trigger and get it over with. We don't need to tiptoe to this. Okay? And I swear to God, if they don't pull the trigger until the last fucking episode, I'm gonna pull my brain out and throw it outside the window. And there's no screen on that window. I can just chuck it out the window. But yeah, we get a little dance sequence. And then we get a post-credit stinger thing where they fix the machine and it solidifies Red Death, and we get the shot from the trailer where they are standing. I'm saying they because it hasn't been revealed yet, so if you don't know who it is under the costume, they're not going to say who it is. It's already sort of been revealed in articles and stuff, but I'm going to say they. It's the thing from the trailer where they are standing above Central City looking down. Yeah, basically now Red Death is fully, and they, I don't know why I said that. They say the Flash has slighted me or something like that, and basically they want to get revenge. So, yeah, and then we cut right to the trailer for next week. I'm like, okay, that was really weird, because during the credits they do a dance scene thing. Okay, but yeah, I thought this episode of The Flash was better than last week. We didn't need a filler episode to start the season, and you could say, Scotty, it's not really filler, but most of it was. Like, there's some build up, but when you're doing a time loop episode is a definition of filler. A time loop, there are 3 episodes that are definition of filler: time loop episode, a bottle episode, or a flashback episode. Those are a definition of filler, and that was a time loop episode, which is completely filler. So, yeah, even though it furthered some stuff, still, it's filler. Sad to say. But yeah, this was better. It furthered some stuff. I'm wondering how. I wonder how far this Red Death arc goes. Because you gotta think it won't be that long. We shall see. I know that a new version of Murmur is supposed to show up. Next week's episode has Barry putting together his own rogues team to fight the rogues that include him, Hartley, possibly Mark, the Hotness, aka Jaco Furch, and Goldface, Daddy Like the Meadow. So I don't know. It looks like they're gonna turn on him, which, I think Hartley wouldn't turn on him after he's now a good guy, but I don't know. We shall see. But until then, what did you think of this episode of The Flash? In the comments, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.